We're often asked, how do you find places to go and make your videos? Today, we'll give you the answer. Yes, in today's video, we're going to be giving you a little journey into the unknown. We're going to take you with us as we search for a location based on the strategy that we use. Just one strategy that is useful to us when it comes to finding new places. But first, we're on a place that we always love to visit. Wherever we are, if there's an estuary, we head for it. If that estuary happens to be a place where for centuries people have parked their boats, and for over 1,000 years people have been crossing over from one side to the other, then there's bound to be a few little bits worth picking up. And that's what we're going to do today as we search this area. As you can see behind me, we've got a boat. Manky's having a whale of a time playing about on there. This boat won't be going very far, because it has definitely seen better days, shall we say. And, well, certainly not seaworthy. But there are other boats around and about, and Caroline's already down checking out one or two of those.
You know that saying, well, whatever floats your boat. I think these people could do with something that will float their boat. They'll run aground a little bit. It's because this is a tidal river, and the river is all the way down there now. They'll float up nicely when the tide comes in. But look at that expanse of sand. Wow. There's lots of mud, lots of stones. So let's have a look and see if we can find anything interesting hidden in the stones and the little secret crevices. There's the bottom of somebody's mug. We quite often find when we're somewhere where they moor the boats and they fix boats, that things will get dropped off the side of the boat, get smashed, and then we find bits of them. But we're looking for something old today. There seems to be a lot of this. Very shiny. I think it's possibly slag glass. Maybe, may not be. But it's shiny, so it caught my eye. I'm a bit of a magpie. Aha! Up over here is an old battery cell. So if there are old battery cells here, there could be other old things. Ooh, definitely worth a look. What have you got, Mr. Johnson?
I think it passes as a bit of ridge pottery.
Oh yes, look at that.
Rather wide ridges, but it is a marmalade pot.
It is ridge pottery, and what is a mudlark without ridge pottery? And noisy birds. Look at this, it's a cute tiny shell. Oh, that's so pretty. Still joined together too. Quite often we find these and they've actually been broken apart. Oh, that's quite nice. I think we'll take that home. Ah, here's another one. A little bit bigger. Like mermaid bikini tops. Ooh, is that a fossil? Yes, look at that. That's a lovely clear fossil, isn't it? You can see the lines very nicely on that. Oh, what's this? That doesn't look natural, does it? Oh, there's a lot of it. Aha! Is that a bit of coconut shell?
It's weird, we do find coconut shells in harbours.
They normally have that pronounced a line on them.
I don't know. That I think could do with a wash.
Yes, I think you need to wash that. Everything is so sticky. Reminds me of the River Severn and the beaches there. Look at those crazy birds, they're everywhere. And there's a train. I think it may be too far away. But there it goes, it's a red and grey one. Taking the people into Swansea. What's that? It's green. Oh, is that a shirt stud? I think it is, or a cufflink or something. Copper. Oh, I like that. It could even be a little weird bobbin off a sewing machine. I've never seen one that short and that shape. Not on the older ones. I know the newer ones are short. Ooh, we'll definitely be taking that with us. That looks really interesting. What do you think it is? Let me know if you've got any ideas. Oh, some glass. Oh no, that's definitely slag glass. Look how bubbly that is. And lots of poor little dead crabs. Oh no, I'd like to think that's a marble. Under there, I don't think it is. No, it's a shell. And it's closed, so there's probably somebody in that sleeping. So we pop them back under. There you go, go back to sleep. Oh, it's the bottom of an old light bulb. Oh, there's a bit of china. Let's have a look at that. Do you think that's plain or patterned? Plain. I've come right up to the high tide line and I found this. Oh yes, I thought it may be a hobnail sole. Oh, isn't that lovely? I always love finding those. It's a real sense of history. Who wore that? Where did they work? Did they lose their shoe, or was that thrown away years ago because it was too old to use? We'll never know, but we can imagine anything we like.
Cleaned it up.
Is it a coconut shell?
I'd say yes.
It is. I've never seen one that pronounced. Maybe it's just me, perhaps I haven't noticed, but it just does seem very manufactured, doesn't it?
But I tell you another thing I notice is that we've got them these days in gardens, hanging with bits of food in for birds. But that's far too shallow. So I think that one was chopped off the top. Somebody opened up a coconut to eat it. Or to drink the milk, and they just chopped the top clean off. That's the top off. Yeah. Like you would with an egg, you know? In order to get to the yolk and dip your soldiers in. By the way, those who don't know what soldiers are, that's little pieces of bread or toast. That's not actually human beings dressed up in uniforms. And I've got those two little bits there.
Oh, nice. Not a lot of pottery around here, but there's a nice bit of stoneware. Oh, a very bright piece of blue china. Lovely.
That did stand out from the crowd.
I can see why. Very nice. Look at that view. It's just so noisy, but it's not annoyingly noisy. It's just lots and lots of birds. I just kicked this, thinking, oh, I wonder what that is. And it's a piece of milk glass. Oh, it's nice. It's not a lot of it. But there does seem to be a lot of little bits of glass here. And that, I think, is probably modern. A little bit of brown there, there's modern. So this seems to be where the glass is washing up. What's that? Oh, that's pretty. I think that's an old lampshade. Little bit of patterning on the bottom. And there's some green I can see. Glistening away. I'd say that's a modern beer bottle. Oh, what have you got?
I have got the most
it's
pipe-like twig.
It is. Look, you've got the bowl on the end as well, and as I picked it up, my finger went through it.
Yes.
That is not a pipe bowl, is it?
No, I saw it lying in the mud though, like that.
Yeah,
and it looked like the end of a pipe just beginning of the bowl.
Yeah.
Pick it up, and what have I got? A twig.
And a very noisy motorbike in the distance.
It's an interesting little bit, look.
Oh yes.
Possibly an hinge off a cabinet.
A hinge off a kitchen cupboard, I would say. That's fairly modern.
Yeah, but pretty shaped now, it's all rusted up.
And look at this piece of glass, which is quite a nice colour. I'd say that's probably going to be vintage.
Right, we're back to, is this just a natural bit of rock? Or is this something? Because I found these 3 pieces close together.
Oh yeah.
What caught my eye was this here. Now, I don't know if it's just stone.
Does look like it could be something, but it also could be stone, because there are some stones that are that flat around here.
Yeah, because I'm not sure. See the shape on that? That seems to be purposeful, doesn't it?
Yes.
And you can almost see a ridge there, look.
Could be something.
And if that's something, then that's probably another part of it. And even if that's just natural, I quite like that.
It is very nice, isn't it?
Just going in the bag.
Okie dokie. Ooh. There's a piece of glass there. I think that's another one of those very thick pieces of glass. Completely opaque, you can't see through that, so I would say that's quite an old bit of glass. And I think there's some gold colouring on it as well. Oh, could it be from an onion glass? What do you think?
The strange thing is though, it looks flat.
Yes.
And then it's curved inside.
Yes, and they're usually curved on the outside as well.
Yeah.
Strange.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's nice though, I like finding that sort of thing. There's a little brass washer, some brass screws. I think mainly modern. Oh, there's more of those things. Right, so they're obviously not cufflinks. There wouldn't be this many around. And I don't think they're sewing bobbins either, so they must be something to do with... Are they rivets? Copper rivets? What do you think? That's my next guess. I'll take a few, but I think they're copper rivets, which is a shame because I would have preferred it to have been a cufflink, but still. What's on this? Oh, it's a piece of old stoneware. And walking up, I think that's... You get less and less the further up to the top you come. And I'm surprised at just how much modern rubbish is all gathering in this one area. So now I'm going to climb over the slipway. Have a look at the other side, see if that's caught anything.
This time, I'm going from the sublime to the ridiculous.
Ooh, right, okay.
I'm going from ancient, with that little fossil.
Oh yes, there, I can see it.
Just on the edge there.
Yeah.
From ancient to modern. They're going home because they'll go in my... Hey, don't knock it. You can pay good money for screws these days.
There you go.
They're going in my... That's going in my box of fossils and that's going in my tin of screws.
So that's where we were. This is where we are. Look at that. Do you think that's an ancient buckle? Or just a lump of metal off a ship? It's metal? There's no way of identifying it just from that, is there? We'll take it home and see if we can figure out what it is. Again, if you think you know, please let us know. Because at the moment, it doesn't seem to be at all identifiable looking at it here, but I haven't got my glasses on. What's this? I thought it was a mixing bowl, and guess what? It's a lovely old piece of medieval sewer pipe. Well, either medieval or from like the 1980s, what do you reckon? No? 2010? More likely. You can see that it's very dry at the moment. Because all this surface clay is all cracking and looking very much like a wasteland. What's that? Oh, I think it's a pillar or a post that they've stuck in the ground. That's not coming out. Probably goes down like 3 or 4 feet. I'm not going to move that, but I can see something green. So it could be a bit of copper. Let's have a look. What do you think? What have you found, Mr. Johnson?
Well, I have found a brick.
You found a brick? Oh.
And it has words on it.
Right.
And it will not be going home with me today.
Why not?
I'm not saying that I've already got one, I don't think I do, but if you take a close look, it's in a metre square piece of concrete. YN, possibly a W, Gwyn, and S, brick.
Right. We will never know what the beginning says because we can't see it.
But someone out there may.
Yes.
Because
I'm sure somebody knows.
We've got some keen followers of bricks now who watch the channel.
Yep. I'm getting closer to the bridge and looking on the floor there were a few bits of white china, but I've seen a few colour things catch my eye and pretty patterns. So let's have a look. We've got this little bit of pale blue glass. Now that is recently smashed, which makes me think that somewhere is a rubbish dump that's emptying into this river, and that's a bottle that has recently fallen out. And over here we got some pretty glass, which I think looks like the bottom of a big like trifle bowl or fruit bowl or even sugar bowl. Bottom of another bit of bottle. Oh, that's a pretty feather. Isn't that lovely? I'll pop that in my pile as well. Got some ridged glass there. I think it's green. Let's have a look. Yep, that's green. Oh, there's lines on that. Aha. I wonder if that's a little bit more of the bottom of the little basin thing or bowl thing we just found. It could be. Now that looks like thick glass. Let's have a look at that. Oh yes, you can see the slump on the bottom edge of the glass there, and you can't see through it. So that's a nice old chunk. I'll take that in case it joins on with the other old chunk we found. You never know. Oh, a lovely bit of old pottery there. And what's this? Another bit. I like that too. Does that go with that? I think it may do. So we'll take it just in case. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Oh, there's the top of a bottle. That looks like an applied lip. And it's got holes on, so probably held beer, I would say. Let's have a look at the colour. It's like an aqua colour when it isn't quite so dirty. Oh, there's a little piece of black china. And, whoops, I'm dropping it. We've got a little piece of blue and white. Do you think that's plain or patterned? Plain, plain or patterned? Oh, patterned. Just in there. And got this. It's obviously patterned. Very pretty. And a lovely piece of green river glass. You can tell by the colour it's older, but again, freshly smashed. So where is all this coming from? I'd love to know. What does this say? I can't quite read it. Tell you what, check out 9 o'clock Saturday evening every week UK time, where we show you how finds cleaned up, have a chat, have a quiz and a lot of fun. Oh, is that a fossil? Looks like a fossil in the one direction, but I think it's just a ridgy stone. Hello, Mr. Johnson.
Hello. Now we've come the other way along the beach now, so we're quite near the bridge. You might hear the noise in the background. And being near the bridge reminded me of a little bit of information that was intriguing to me about the ferry, because there is a list of ferry charges. And it really wasn't the time to have too many wheels on your wagon, because a horse, 1 penny. A foot passenger, 1 penny. If you wanted to take a pig or a sheep with you, that was just an 8p. But for every wheel on your vehicle, they charge you 6p. So if you got 4 wheels on your wagon, that was 2 bob. That's 24 pennies. That's an awful lot of money. Obviously they felt that only the rich were travelling by wheel transport back then and could afford it. But as we've walked this way, I have found a brick.
Oh,
and a brick that is loose, that is new, and that is coming home with me.
E&B Killay.
Yeah, would that be, now in Wales, would that be Killay or Killay? Because double L here, of course, Llanelli.
It sounds more Scottish, doesn't it? So I don't know. You'll have to check that out.
You can see it plain as day, and it's going home with me.
Okie dokie.
On building materials, I've got some more.
Right.
Because I've got a bit of slate. Now, it's not unusual to find a bit of Welsh slate. What is unusual, however, is this piece, I think, because it's obviously shaped to be a small slate on a roof. And look at the thickness.
Yeah.
That's quite a chunky, they're usually half that thickness. I think that's quite an old.
I would say so, yeah. It's an old one.
That's an old one, possibly off one of the buildings that were along here back in the ferry times.
Yep, could be.
And I don't know if Caroline has already found one of these, but I did find the ridge pottery. And as we always say, as well as ridge pottery, I found a ball.
Oh, what is a mudlark without finding a ball? Well done.
Yes, well done to me for finding it. Not so good for the person who was practicing their golf and it landed in the middle of this estuary.
Or landed miles upriver,
And
right
washed
over there,
down.
and has spent weeks wheedling his way down.
Yeah, perhaps there's a golf course down there somewhere.
Could be.
Now, this is just a busted bit of glass.
Oh, nice.
The only reason I picked it up is because it's on the bottom, Ho & Co Limited.
Oh, very nice.
Isn't that a hot sauce company, or have I got that completely wrong?
Whole sauce, yes, I think it is. It looks like a sauce-shaped
Yeah,
bottle,
I'm
doesn't
pretty
it?
sure they did a hot sauce, didn't they? So just wanted to show there are bits here, but boy, they're smashed. I actually found the base of a Marmite jar.
Oh, right.
And they don't smash
No.
easy. But stuff is really getting trashed here along the water's edge, but it just shows there's bits around. On the subject of glass, there we go.
Oh, that's nice. Got a couple of barnacles on it
It
as
is.
well.
Look at that.
Hold it up to the light and nothing. It's completely opaque. Wow. That big chunk, isn't it?
Quite a solid bit, isn't it?
I think we leave that here though, just in case those barnacles,
Well, I thought
whatever they
that.
are still alive.
Right, what else have I got? I've got another bit of fossil.
Oh, that's
It's
nice.
a lovely little piece of bark, isn't it?
Yeah, very clear there.
And then I've got a rim and a tiny bit of bloom white,
Right,
bit of slag glass.
right.
There's a lot of that around here,
It is.
and a rather larger
Oh,
bit
that's
of bloom
pretty.
white.
Very nice.
So that's what I picked up as I tried to catch up with you, my dear.
I know, I was so excited.
Oh, you are fast, you are, when you get going on an estuary.
Is that what I think it is? It's the end of a glass bottle stopper. Now I know it's not the whole thing. I haven't found much hold on here because the river is so rough. So finding the end of a bottle stopper I think is a really nice find. At first I thought it was a marble, but then as I got closer I could see it wasn't. But still happy with that. I can see a bottle with some writing on.
Oh, it's got the word C on it, isn't it? Was that my
Yes,
dyslexia?
oh wow, what a lovely find. How nice.
Oh, that's a lovely... You've got to make something with that,
Yeah, it's
haven't we?
probably Swansea, but
Ah, who cares?
still,
It's C now.
Yeah, we're at the sea.
I found those two
Oh,
bits.
that's nice. A little bit of brown pottery
And a neck has come clean off.
Yep.
Now, I'm tempted to say that that looks a little like the edge of a piece of china. Actually, it looks
Yeah,
like it
well,
could be.
Let's have a look. What do you think? I tell you, we'll go for twig or pipe stem. It's more likely to be a twig. Twig or pipe stem?
I'm going pipe stem against twig. That's looking very shiny. What is it? A china
There's
handle?
a china handle of a teacup.
Oh, no! I said it was shiny.
It was. Well, after our last pipe stem debacle, I've seen this. Now, what do you reckon? Do you reckon this? It's not a twig, but do you think it's china or pipe stem?
Fag end.
Let's have a look. Oh, it's pipe stem. It's pipe
Wow,
stem.
that's a thick
piece.
piece.
Oh, wow, it's thick, and it's the only one we found on this beach. Oh, I am so excited. You know me and pipe stems. Oh, I'm very happy. If we find nothing else, I'm a happy bunny.
And the thing is, it just goes to prove, if you're finding bottles that have got bits that look about 100-year old and you're finding the odd bit of glass bottle stopper, you're in the right zone. Who knows what's going to turn up? And there it is. Bit of pipe stem for the collection.
Oh, look, here's another sea bottle.
Oh,
Well, sea chunk. It's green, it's muddy, and it's got sea on it. I'm going to clear that little... Whoop. I was going to say I'm going to clear that little cockle out of there, but when I dropped it, it cleared itself out. So there we go, we'll take that with us, 2 seas.
this is a very important spot and has been for centuries, even millennium, because here was the ideal place to cross the River Lycha. It was a good point for fording, and we know that was going on way back into the Roman times. There's a street just up there called Ferry Road, which we'll be taking a walk up in a moment, and that gives you a good clue to the fact that they operated ferries here for hundreds of years. Right up until 1834, you had to use the ferry or didn't cross, because the bridge, first time built 1834. As well as the history of the crossing point, where you've got a major crossing point, that gives you an advantage when it comes to control and from a military perspective. So it's not just the bridge, it's not just the estuary, it's not just the ferry and the ford, but very near here, in fact just at the top of Ferry Road, there's a castle, or at least what remains of a castle. So let's pop up and we'll show you that now. There we are, just coming up this very short street or road, Ferry Road. Some lovely little cottages here with beautiful gardens. And then as we come around towards the top, there you can see Lachar Castle. Let's go take a closer look. The ruins you see behind me, they were built by the Norman invaders. Of course, many of the castles we show you over on the border with England were built within just a couple of years of the victory of William the Conqueror in 1066. But it took them a little while longer to get here and build this. 40 years after that victory, work started on building this castle. But the Normans weren't the first to realise the benefit of having this vantage point high above the estuary. Yes, long before the Normans, the Romans were here. And it's all about control. It's all about having this high ground and a position whereby you can declare to all your enemies, "Thou shalt not pass." And that was the message that the Roman fort and then the Norman castle gave to the people as they took control of the transportation of goods and personnel across from bank to bank on the River Lachar. But long gone are the days where we battled with our adversaries as we tried to cross rivers and as we sought who should control which bit of land. Now, all of our energies in this part of the world are concentrated on one small area of grass. And whether it's at the Millennium Stadium or up at Twickenham, wherever it may be, when the Welsh are playing rugby, that's where we do battle as our men take to the battlefield and try and bring victory home in the form of a Grand Slam or just a Triple Crown, or a memorable win against any nation from the southern continent. And this part of the world has produced many wonderful rugby players. Stradey Park, that's where Llanelli played, and what an amazing place, as it was home to every game played by the local team for 129 years, until times changed. The stadium that was perfect for the 20th century was replaced by a 21st century stadium for the Scarlets, as they're now known. There's a housing estate covering the area of Stradey Park these days, but in the centre there is a little garden, a flower bed in the middle, the shape of a rugby ball, and a stone marking the spot where so many victories were won, including an extremely famous victory. Because the last time that New Zealand were defeated by a club side was in 1972. That's 50 years ago that a club side beat the All Blacks. And it was there, at Stradey Park, that it took place. The Llanelli rugby team were famous for their saucepans on top of the goalposts, replicated at the gates now at the new Scarlet Park, and also on the original rugby posts, a set of which stand on a Rhode Island. From the Romans to the Normans and right through to the conquering rugby players of 1972 and beyond, there's history all around us here in the Llanelli area. We're not on the estuary anymore. Nope, we've popped in the car and we've come to what is probably the most unlikely location to try and find the sorts of things we're looking for, because we are in the middle of a massive shopping precinct. And I mean massive. It's got everything here. It covers acres and acres and acres. But there's a reason why I'm here. Lots of people ask us, how do you find the places to go? And there's no simple answer. You just gotta do your research, ask questions, and of course the internet is a great source of information. And I happened to pick up on a thread on a blog that was put out in 2011, and then someone added to it in 2012, so we're talking 10 years ago. And the gentleman stated that he was employed here when this was being built. Now exactly when that was I don't know, but we're talking more than 10 years ago, a lot more. And while he was here, he pulled out 24 torpedo bottles in a day as the machines went through, loads of marble bottles, military bottles, all sorts, because this was a massive dump. As you can see today, it's all stores. Everywhere you look, it's shops of every kind. But what the gentleman did say that was interesting in that little piece was that there was a piece about 45 meters by 35 meters left untouched. Now, whether it's been dug, whether we can find anything, whether it's still there or whether we can access it, the answer to that question is in front of us as we walk through the gully, across two roads and around to try and locate this piece of land, which when Google Maps was made, there was a piece of waste ground there. But as I say, now's the time to find out. So, while we head off and try to find that little patch of land and see if there are any treasures being unearthed, if the bottle diggers have been there before us and left anything behind, why don't you pop over now to the caravan and have a tour of Abbey.
Well, would you like to come on a guided tour of Abbey, our new caravan? Okay, let's go in. Now, I don't need to knock this time because it's my caravan. So we climb up the steps and here we enter in the hallway. There's two coat hooks. And we've got a control panel up there that does all sorts of clever things that I have no idea about. And there's our smoke alarm. Always essential in a caravan. Now I'll take you into the kitchen. And we've got 3 gas hobs, 1 electric hob, a grill and an oven. Got my fridge freezer there. Well, it's a fridge with a little freezer section, but you know what I mean. And there's the view out of the kitchen window to our car and other caravans. Got our microwave up there and some lovely roof lockers for keeping all our bits and pieces in. So now we're coming through into the lounge. We've got 6-foot sofas at the front and we've got this really clever thing here. You pull this out and it pulls all the bed slats out. Then you can make up using the cushions off the back into a big huge double bed. Let's have a look at our view out of the window. It's a very pretty view. Lovely to wake up to in the morning. On the windows we got these really nifty blinds. And if you pull them down again, They turn into fly screens to keep the bugs out. So now we're coming into the entertainment area. This is where we keep our TV. There's our heater. And up here I've got some more lockers. Now this Manky doesn't mind you seeing him in his locker, so you know which one is his, but he said because he's a teenager he likes to have some privacy, so you can see that's where he keeps his wellies. And I'm not quite sure what's going on in there. I never am. I don't ask. I don't want to know. Turning around, we're going off to the bathroom area. Oh, here's the store cupboard where the table is kept in there, and we got a couple of shelves, and this is our bathroom. So we got the wardrobes in the bathroom because it's a bathroom come dressing room. A wardrobe there. 2 drawers on the bottom. A toilet with a rather nifty swivel. So whichever way you want to face, you can turn it. Got a bathroom cabinet. And a sink with real water. And another cupboard. If I turn the lights on, a light up there, and a light above the cupboard there, and a light in the shower. We've got some nice little shelves there for keeping all our bits and pieces on. And we keep our coats in here because if they get a bit wet and rainy, then they can drip into the shower. But since we've had this caravan, we haven't been away once in the rain, so I don't really know why I bothered to bring them. So that's it. There's the view of our little caravan. There is where Manky hangs out most of the time. He's very particular. He won't wear his wellies in on the carpet because he's trying to keep his room nice. And now we've got to get back and search for that dump and see if we can find anything. And if we can't find anything, we'll be coming back here for a nice cold drink and a sit down.
And here we are, just a few hundred yards away from the hustle and bustle of shops and shoppers, cars and all sorts of activity in the middle of a wood. It's very dry here. It's been heat wave after heat wave. We're into our second one, and yet the ground here is so moist. We've got to watch where we're treading, and it's absolutely beautiful. Isn't that lovely? Look how lush and green everything is because the ground is so wet. You can see the sun breaking through just over there, the butterflies dancing. It is fantastic. So I wouldn't say that I'm disappointed to be stood here in what is the coolest place we've been all day because it's hot. But no one's been digging here. The excavation work that took place when they built the car parks and the shops, that ended on the edge of here. And now, whatever secrets are held are well beneath our feet. So we won't be sharing any treasure from this location today. But I did think it was worth sharing the location. So I'll just take you through the woods with me now as we have a little look at what a beautiful location this is, here in the shade. If you've enjoyed this video, then check out the link for more adventures. And why not give us a thumbs up? That would be great.
Doing, doing, doing.
But until the next time, as Manky says, have fun. Bye.
Bye.